Welcome to Frequently Asked Tattoo Questions with Wes. I am Wes, your tattoo host. Question I got recently was, does it hurt more or less depending on the size of the needle? This is a great question. So we kind of can also reframe this as, what hurts more or less, the outline or the shading? 9 out of 10 people will agree that the outline hurts more than the shading. And we actually have some physics behind this. The liner needle, 5, 7, or 9 are typically the needles we use for lining. It's all these needles coming to a point, like the head of a nail. And we do the tattoo, and it's powered by electricity, and typically your power unit's running on volts. And most tattoo machines will say run around 5 volts for the sake of this argument. Then when the shader comes out, I'm going to have 7, 9, 11, or 13 needles, but they're set up more like a paintbrush. So there's a wider surface area. The volts are the same, but it goes along the lines of the old bed of nail trick. If you were to lie on one nail, well, the nail would puncture you. If you were to lie on a bed of 100 nails, all razor sharp, they disperse the energy and you would be able to lie there. Hence, a few more needles, but in a wider configuration at the same energy level or voltage should produce less pain. This is not always the same, and humans are not built the same, so everybody's a little bit different, but I'm talking in generalities here. So 9 out of 10, I would say you're going to get, with shading, less pain than outlining. Same goes for tattooing with just, let's say, the outline. Typically, it doesn't hurt quite as bad with a 7 or a 9 liner as it would a 3 or a 5. Now, here's the wrinkle. You, the client, unfortunately, does not get a say into what needle we're going to use. We're using the different needles for different techniques, different line weight. It's all based on the tattoo design, on what needles we're going to use to execute the perfect needle. So, with that in mind, I would say simply preparing yourself that in general, tattoos have a certain level of discomfort. I've cut a video on what areas are the best, but coming in prepared for a physically uncomfortable time is definitely the best mindset to have. And when you come in with that mindset, if it doesn't hurt as bad, well, then that's bonus for you. So, coming in, good night's sleep, well hydrated, got some calories in you, particularly sugars, and between the ears, you're pumped to get tattooed, and you realize there will be some discomfort. That's the best way to kind of tackle this situation. And the tattooer is going to use the needles or his tools or his paintbrushes, however we want to frame this, accordingly to execute the design to the best of their ability. So we don't really choose on pain ever. We're choosing on what's going to execute this line, what's going to execute this technique, what's going to execute this shading. And of course, in the back of our mind, we always want to be as we want to give you the least amount of pain. We want to make this as comfortable of a situation as possible, but primarily we're worried about executing the tattoo. And if we can make it a little easier on you pain wise, well, that's a little bonus. So I hope this helps. Cheers.